Today, our topic is decision support system. We are going to learn about a type of information system, and that is decision support system. So, what is a DSS? DSS, or we can say decision support system, it is a computer based information system that supports business or organizational decision making activities. It is an interactive software based system intended to help decision makers compile useful information from a combination of raw data, documents, and personal knowledge or business models to identify and solve problems and make decisions. So basically, it is a type of a computer program application which is used to improve a company's डिसीजन मेकिंग कैपेबिलिटीज. जो भी डिसीजन मेकिंग कैपेबिलिटीज हैं किसी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की, उन कैपेबिलिटीज को इम्प्रूव करने के लिए डीएसएस का यूज होता है. इट एनालाइजेज large amounts of data and presents an organization with the best possible options available. This decision support system brings together data and knowledge from different areas and sources to provide users with information beyond the usual reports and summaries. This is intended to help people make informed decisions. So basically, it is a type of interactive software based system which is useful for decision makers. It has some combination of raw data, documents, it has some personal knowledge, it has some business models, and these business models are used to identify and solve problems and make decisions. So if you understand the typical information a decision support system application might gather and present include the following, like comparatively sales figures between one week and the next, projected revenue figures based on new product sales assumptions, the consequences of different decisions. So, it is an informational application as opposed to an operational application. It provides users with the relevant information based on variety of data sources to support better informed decision making. So in the end, we can say that a decision support system is basically useful for supporting the better informed decision making. It also provides tools to manager to assist them in solving semi-structured and structured problems in their own. It is also an information system that supports to managers for decision making. So overall, you will find that it is a type of information system that basically supports managers to for making decisions. Or now we can study about a brief history. Brief history is like academic researchers from many disciplines have been studying DSS for approximately 40 years. According to Keene and Scott Morton 1978, the concept of decision support has evolved from two main areas of research: the theoretical studies of organizational decision making done at the Carnegie Institute of Technology during the late 1950s and early 1960s, and the technical work on interactive computer systems mainly carried out the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in 1960s. So basically, this is a brief history of a DSS. It is considered that the concept of DSS became an area of research of its own in the middle of the 1970s before gaining in intensity during the 1980s. And in the middle and late 1980s, executive information systems, group decision support systems, and organizational decision support systems evolved from the single users and model oriented DSS. So after 1980s, this DSS has some advanced versions, like we can say executive information system, EIS, GDSS, group decision support systems, ODSS, organizational decision support system, and it has some single users and they are module oriented DSS. Now we can say this is the evolution of DSS concept. MIS and structured reports in 1960s. 1970s में वो structured reports brand aid में convert हुई, 1980s में वो keyboard में, and 1990s में data warehouses. उसके बाद इंटरेक्टिव सिस्टम रिसर्च को हम MDS बोल सकते हैं, EIS बोल सकते हैं, OLAP बोल सकते हैं। थ्योरी डेवलपमेंट में हम बोल सकते हैं RDBMS, एक्सपर्ट सिस्टम्स एंड डेटा माइनिंग. So these are the evolution of DSS over the time period. Before this, we can also understand then what are the components of decision support system. So the typical DSS consists of three parts, that is knowledge database, software and user interface. So before learning some types of the decision support system, let us learn about some components. So a typical DSS consists of three different parts, that is knowledge, database, software and user interface. Knowledge base is what? Knowledge base is an integral part of a decision support system or database, we can say, containing the information from both internal and external sources. It is a library of information related to particular subjects and is the part of DSS that stores information used by the system's reasoning engine to determine a course action. So basically, the information which we get from the external and internal sources, that is in a knowledge database. Then is software system. The software system is a composed of model management system. A model is a simulation of a real world system with the goal of understanding how the system works and how it can be improved. Organizations use models to predict how outcomes will change with different adjustment to the system. For example, if there is a model that can be helpful for understanding the systems that are too complicated, too expensive and too dangerous to fully explore in real life. So that is the idea behind computer simulations used for scientific research, engineering tests, weather forecasting and many other applications. So model can be used to represent and explore systems that don't yet exist, like a proposed new technology, a planned factory, or a business supply chain. So, businesses also use models to predict the outcomes of different changes of a system, such as policies, risk, and regulations, to help make business decisions. So, basically, it required some of the models, a DSS required some of the models also. Next is user interface. The user interface enables the easy system navigation. The primary goal of a decision support system's user interface is make it easy for the user to manipulate the data that is stored on it. Businesses can use interface to evaluate the effectiveness of DSS transactions from the end user. DSS interfaces include like simple windows, complex menu drive interfaces and command line interfaces. So basically we can say that a DSS is comprised of three things, that is knowledge base, second software system and third interfaces. Without these things a DSS cannot work. Moving forward to the types of DSS. There are the types of DSS. First is model driven DSS. It includes systems that use accounting, financial models and representation models. Basically, it built an underlying decision model. Model driven decision support systems are customized according to a predefined set of user requirements to help analyze different scenarios that meet these requirements. For example, a modern driven DSS may assist with scheduling and developing financial statements. So basically, this system helps in use accounting, financial models and representation models. So model driven system basically help in the scheduling and developing the financial statements. Second is data driven. Data driven DSS is having a file drawer and management reporting system, data warehousing, geographical information. It is a computer program that make decisions based on data from internal databases or external databases. Typically, a data-driven DSS uses data mining techniques to discern trends and patterns, enabling it to predict future events. So, business often use data-driven DSS to help make decisions about inventory, about sales, about other business processes. So, some are used to help make decisions in the public sectors, such as pretending the likelihood of future criminal behavior, or we can say data warehouses, or we can say geographical information. So, data driven DSS is used for these things. Next is knowledge driven DSS. These are the computer systems with specialized problem solving expertise. So basically, knowledge in this type of knowledge driven DSS, the data that drives the system resides in knowledge base that is continuously updated and maintained by the knowledge management. So in this knowledge driven DSS, a computer is used to update itself and maintained by the knowledge management system, because it has consists of some knowledge based database or informations. A knowledge driven DSS provides information to users that is consistent with the company business processes and knowledge. So basically, these are the computer systems which is used and having this specialized problem solving expertise. Next is document driven DSS. The DSS which is involving to help manager retrieves and manage unstructured document. So basically, a document driven DSS is a type of information management system that uses documents to retrieve data. Document driven DSS enables users to search web pages or databases or find specific search teams. The examples of documents accessed by document-driven DSS includes policies and procedures, meetings, minutes, and corporate records. So basically, whenever you want to manage unstructured data or to help manager retrieves, the document-driven DSS is used. Next is communication-driven group, or we can say communication-driven group DSS. It includes communications, collaborations, and DSS technologies that do not fit within those DSS type hybrids. So, it is a communication driven and a group decision support system uses a variety of communication tools such as email, instant messaging, or voice chat to allow more than one person to work on the same task. The goal behind this type of DSS is to increase collaboration between the users and the system and to improve the overall efficiency and effectiveness of the system. So basically, it is used to increase the collaboration between the users and the system. So next is intra-organizational driven DSS. These are designed for use by individuals to accompany as a standalone DSS or use group of managers in the company. So basically, this type of decision support system is used for the individuals of the company. Next, inter-organization driven DSS. This provides the stakeholders with the access to a company's intranet, an authority, or privileges to use specific DSS capabilities. It also used for the company's intranet within the organizations. Next is functions or specific on general purposes. These are help a person to accomplish specific decision tasks. It helps to support broad tasks like project management, decision analysis, and business planning. So basically, specific on general purposes is basically designed for a specific task only, and for project managers, for management, for decision analysis and business planning. Ninth is web-based DSS. It is a computerized system that delivers decision support information or decision support tools to a manager or business analyst using their client web browsers like Internet Explorer and Mozilla Firefox. So basically, it is a DSS which is used to support information or decision support tools by using some of the web browsers like Internet Explorer and Mozilla Firefox. Now we can say what are the characters and capabilities of DSS. What you can see is characters. It provides some of the it provides a support in semi-structured and unstructured solutions includes human judgment and computerized information. Second, it supports for various managerial levels. It supports to individuals and groups. It supports to interdependent or sequential decisions. It supports all phases of the decision making process. So overall, we can say that some of the capabilities of DSS are it supports in each and every level of the organization. It should be like decision making, it should be like for managerial levels, it should be like structured or unstructured solutions, it should be like judgments, it should be like computerized information. The thing where we in the every area or at the every level of the organization, there are some of the capabilities of DSS, we can say. Or we can say its purpose is to produce detailed information reports by gathering and analyzing data. Hence, a DSS is a different form from a normal operation application whose goal is to collect data and not analyze it. Some of the other capabilities and characteristics are like support a variety of decision making process styles, very adaptive they are, have user friendly interface, it has a goal improve effectiveness of decision making, the decision maker controls the decision making process, and users can build simple systems. So these are all the characteristics and capabilities of DSS. They can be very adaptive, हर कोई इनको adopt कर सकता है. और जो हमारे यूज़र हैं उसके लिए एक ऐसा यूज़र फ्रेंडली इंटरफेस लिंक बनाया गया है कि कोई भी डीएसएस जो यूज़र्स इसको अगर यूज़ कर रहे हैं तो उसके लिए बहुत ही इजी हो. और साथ ही साथ इसका गोल क्या है, डिसीजन मेकिंग को इफेक्टिव बनाना. जो भी हम डिसीजन देयर आर द सिचुएशंस अराइज इन द मैनेजमेंट वेयर वी मेक डिसीजंस रिगार्डिंग सम ऑफ द things, then this is the DSS is the system whose goal is to improve the effectiveness of decision making. The decision maker controls the decision making process. The end users can build simple systems, utilizes models for analysis, provides access to variety of data sources, formats and types, can be employed as a standalone tool used by an individual decision maker in one location and distributed throughout an organization and in several organizations along supply chain. So basically it has some of the models which is used for the analysis also. It provides the variety of data sources, formats and types so that you can access it easily. It is considered as a standalone tool which is used by a single person for decision making and also can be sent to the organization, distributed to the organization and also in several organizations. So now what are the objectives of DSS? As we understand, अभी तक हमने DSS के बारे में पढ़ा, उसकी क्या कहते हैं उसके बारे में पढ़ा. अभी we want to know about the क्या ऑब्जेक्टिव रहे होंगे DSS के, क्या पर्पस रहा होगा उसका, है ना. तो it creates allows the decision makers to make or create a much better or consistent decision in timely manner. It helps the single person on group to come up with a decision making. It is interdependent. It is decision making has its own phrases that should be followed step by step, and the step by step, and that should be followed by step procedures. So basically, we can say that the primary purpose of using a so basically we are learning about the objectives of DSS. So as you all know, it supports for decision makers in semi-structured and unstructured problems. It supports individuals and the groups, as already told. It supports all managers at all levels. It supports interdependent or sequential decisions. It supports intelligence, design, choice, and implementations, and also it supports variety of decision processes and styles. So I can also say that data warehouse is also an objective of DSS. It can easily adapt to the different changes. It can easily be understand on the sequences of the DSS. It is a computer proficiency. It improves the decisions for lesser mistakes, and also it can be for and individual or group. There are other objectives are also, and users can create a simple systems for himself, even if or a manual systems. You can use the models to analyze decisions. Also, all the information in any types of decisions can be improved. Either a standalone or web-based format can be used. So all these are the objectives of DSS, and we can understand that we can say that the object main objective of the DSS, primary purpose of the DSS is that they can use for supporting basically for the decision making. Its purpose of using a DSS is to present information to the customer in a easy to understand way. It is beneficial because it can be programmed to generate many type of reports, which is all based on user specifications. And in other words, we can also say that it increases the speed and efficiency of decision making activities, जो basically इसकी नेम में ही इसके नाम में ही इसकी डेफिनेशन छुपी है, डिसीजन सपोर्ट सिस्टम. तो ये बेसिकली उसकी डिसीजंस को बनाने के लिए, डिसीजन मेकिंग एक्टिविटीज को ही हमारी बहुत ज़्यादा इम्प्रूव और इफेक्टिव बनाता है. As a DSS can collect and analyze real-time data, it promotes training within the organizations. For a specific skills can be developed to implement and run as a DSS within the organization. So it is used to improve the productivity of a group to come to a decision, sometimes also referred to as a computerized collaborative work system. So there are some of the objectives. These are all the objectives of DSS. It can be support for decision making, interactive, can be used by individual or the group. It has some models to analyze decision making. All these are the objectives of the DSS. Now we can say alternatives of DSS. There is a need of DSS. DSS has become necessary for today's manager because of the following reason. First is fast computation. A decision maker can perform large number of computations very quickly, and that too at a low cost with the help of computer system. So it is very necessary that a DSS is a very fast computation system, so that you can perform a large number of computations very quickly in this through this DSS. Enhanced productivity. Decision support system can enhance the productivity of support staff and also enable the group members to disclose the problems among themselves as distant. So basically, whenever an organization using decision support system, so it increases the or it enhances the productivities activities. It supports the staff and the group members to share the problems among themselves and enhance their work of productivity. Third is better decisions. Computer support system can help a decision maker in arriving a better decision. So ये जो system है ना, इसका work ही mainly यही है कि ये decisions को better बना, decisions making को better करने के लिए ही काम आता है. इसी को ही सबसे ज़्यादा support करता है. इसी के थ्रू कुछ बेटर डिसीजंस भी लिए जाते हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि इस तरीके से इंफॉर्मेशन को प्रोवाइड किया जाता है कि आप अपने डिसीजंस को और अच्छे से, उनकी क्वालिटी को और अच्छे से इम्प्रूव कर पाएं। Next is data transmission. Sometimes the data which may be stored at different locations may be required to transmit quickly from distant locations. So computer support systems can be searched, stored and transmitted the required data quickly and economically. So this DSS is also used for searching and storing and transmitting the required data quickly and economically, and from the different locations. Because it collects the data from the external and internal sources of the organization, and therefore the data is transmitting from one place to the another place, or from one organization to other organizations. So it makes this work easy and quickly. Now, what is the role of DSS in business? DSS is computer based information for management decisions maker who deal with the semi structured problems. DSS play a important role in business. It performs various activities. It is used for the purpose of gathering and analyzing data. In organization, a DSS is used by planning departments such as operation departments, which collect data and create reports that can be used by managers for decision making. So basically, it can be employed in various knowledge domains, from an organization to forest management and medical field also. So some of these are all the applications of the decision support systems, we must say. And there are the role of DSS is explained as follows. What if analysis? This is the process of accessing the impact of variables. This helps manager to proactive rather than reactive in their decision making. This analysis is critical for semi-structured and unstructured problem, because the data necessaries to make such decisions are not available. Goal oriented. It is a process of determining the input values required to achieve a certain goals. Risk analysis. Risk is the important factor. Risk is the important factor which affects the business enterprises. DSS allows the managers DSS and allows managers to the risk associated with various alternatives. So basically, we can say that first of all we will discuss this what if analysis, that it is a process of decision making where business and person looks at all the choices that are possible based on limited information. यहाँ क्या होगा, आपका एक लिमिटेड इंफॉर्मेशन पे ही आप अपनी चॉइसेस को और उनकी चीज़ों को देख पाओगे। उसी के साथ गोल ओरिएंटेड का क्या है? गोल ओरिएंटेड एक ऐसा प्रोसेस है जहां आप इन वैल्यूज को तो इनपुट कराओगे टू अचीव अ सर्टेन गोल। बेसिकली दिस डीएसएस का जो रोल है वो गोल ओरिएंटेड भी है। क्यों? क्योंकि वो गोल्स को अचीव करने के काम में भी आता है कि गोल्स को कैसे अचीव करना है, क्या हमें उसके लिए इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए, क्या हमें उसके लिए डेटा चाहिए, तो इस चीज़ के लिए भी। रिस्क एनालिसिस क्या है? रिस्क इज द इम्पॉर्टेंट फैक्टर। आप कोई भी बिजनेस आप चला रहे हो तो उसके लिए आपको एक रिस्क तो ज़रूरी होता है। तो रिस्क क्या है? एक इम्पॉर्टेंट फैक्टर ही है, पर डीएसएस क्या करता है, उन रिस्क को मैनेज करने के काम में भी आता है और उनके लिए कुछ वेरियस ऑल्टरनेटिव्स को भी प्रोवाइड करता है। तो व्हाट इफ एनालिसिस क्या होगा, कैसे होगा? गोल ओरिएंटेड, किस गोल को देखते हुए हमें अपना काम करना है। रिस्क एनालिसिस, रिस्क को देखते हुए भी उसके कुछ प्लान बी प्लान ए करके रख के चलना है, दैट इज रिस्क एनालिसिस। Model building, DSS allows decision maker to identify the most appropriate model for solving the problems. अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम आपकी सिचुएशन अराइज हो गई कि कोई प्रॉब्लम आ गई तो उसके लिए प्रॉपर अप्रोप्रिएट मॉडल को आइडेंटिफाई करना डिसीजन मेकर्स के को भी अलाउ करता है ये डीएसएस. ग्राफिकल एनालिसिस, दिस हेल्प मैनेजर्स टू क्विक डाइजेस्ट लार्ज वॉल्यूम्स ऑफ डेटा and visualize the impacts of various because courses of action. So जो भी हमारा लार्ज अमाउंट का डेटा है या कुछ ऐसे फैक्टर्स हैं, कोर्स ऑफ एक्शंस हैं, उनको भी मैनेजर्स के लिए हेल्प करता है कि हम ग्राफिकली या कैसे उन कोर्स ऑफ एक्शंस को एनालाइज कर सकते हैं. So graphical analysis also. So they recommends the use of graph when seeing quick summary of data, forecasting activities, detecting trends over time, composing points and patterns in different variables. So basically this in this graphic analysis you use the graph whenever you have that summary of data. आपके पास पूरे डेटा का समरी हो, डेटाबेस पूरा आपका तैयार हो, उसको एनालाइज करके उसको ऑब्जर्व करके ही कोई एक ग्राफ पैटर्न प्रोवाइड करेगा. या फिर आपके पास कुछ प्रिडिक्शंस हो कि आने वाले टाइम पे क्या होने वाला है, फॉरकास्टिंग एक्टिविटीज हो, उसको देख के कोई ग्राफ. फॉर एग्जांपल जैसे आपका ये वेदर फॉरकास्टिंग होता है, तो वेदर फॉरकास्टिंग आपको यही तो बताया था और आप उसको ग्राफिकल मैनर में शो करते हो कि आज धूप है या आज रेनी सीजन है या आज विंटर फॉगी है. सो ऑल दीज आर एक्टिविटीज इज यूज्ड बाय द ग्राफ. डिटेक्टिंग ट्रेंड्स ओवर टाइम, composing points and patterns are different variables. So all these are the role of DSS in business. Now we can have these steps in constructing DSS. अब DSS को कंस्ट्रक्ट करने के लिए कुछ स्टेप्स को फॉलो करना है. ठीक है, सबसे पहला स्टेप क्या है? आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम. In this stage, the developer and the knowledge engineer interact to identify problems. The following points are discussed, like the scope and intent are analyzed. The return of investment analysis is done. The amount of resources needed is identified. Areas in the problems that can give much trouble are identified. And conceptual solution of the problem is found. Overall specification is made. So basically, so yes, so the first step we are discussing right now, that is identification of problem. So DSS को कंस्ट्रक्ट करने के लिए सबसे पहले आपको प्रॉब्लम्स को आइडेंटिफाई करना पड़ेगा. अब प्रॉब्लम्स क्या हैं? ये जो स्टेज है, ये जो सबसे पहला स्टेप है, ये किसी नॉलेज इंजीनियर या किसी डेवलपर के थ्रू ही प्रॉब्लम आइडेंटिफाई होती है. तो कुछ पॉइंट्स ऐसे हैं जो हमें डिस्कस करने ज़रूरी हैं एट द वेरी फर्स्ट स्टेप वाइल कंस्ट्रक्टिंग अ DSS. दैट हमारे रिसोर्सेज क्या रहेंगे, कितने टाइप के, क्या अमाउंट का हमारा रिसोर्सेज रिक्वायर्ड है. सेकंड, जो एरियाज हैं, जिस एरिया पे हम कोई भी डिसीजन सपोर्ट सिस्टम स्टैब्लिश कर रहे हैं, वहाँ पे हमारा कोई प्रॉब्लम तो अराइज नहीं होगा. और साथ ही साथ उसके कुछ कंसेप्चुअल सॉल्यूशन भी ढूंढने पड़ेंगे कि कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट बेस्ड सॉल्यूशन हमारे पास हो. सेकेंड, थर्ड इज दैट रिटर्न ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट एनालिसिस, कि जो भी हम इन्वेस्ट करेंगे उसका कुछ रिटर्न होगा या नहीं होगा. साथ ही साथ क्या स्कोप रहेगा, क्या इंटेंट रहेगा, या ओवरऑल क्या स्पेसिफिकेशन रहेंगी इस DSS की. तो ये सारी चीज़ों को, प्रॉब्लम्स को आइडेंटिफाई करना बहुत ज़रूरी है एट अ वेरी फर्स्ट स्टेप. तो उनको आइडेंटिफाई करें सबसे पहले. नेक्स्ट, नाउ डेवलपमेंट ऑफ प्रोटोटाइप. Before the development of prototype, we decide the knowledge level to solve the particular problems. जो अब तक हमारी प्रॉब्लम्स को हमने आइडेंटिफाई करा, तो उनको हमें सॉल्व करने के लिए एक नॉलेज लेवल की ज़रूरत होती है. For this, we adopt some methods in sequence. After this, the taste of knowledge of engineer and developer, which interact frequently, and domain-specific knowledge is entrance. So when knowledge representation schemes and knowledge is available, a prototype is constructed. So basically, किसी knowledge हमें अपने प्रोटोटाइप को बनाने के लिए, डेवलप करने के लिए कुछ रिप्रेजेंटेशन स्कीम्स की, कुछ नॉलेज की ज़रूरत होती है. तो वो इंजीनियर और डेवलपर ही करते हैं, किसी भी नॉलेज रिप्रेजेंटेशन स्कीम्स को और नॉलेज को अवेलेबल करते हैं एज अ प्रोटोटाइप. सो सेकेंड स्टेप इज हमें एक प्रोटोटाइप को डेवलप करना पड़ता है आफ्टर सॉल्विंग दी प्रॉब्लम्स अराइज आइडेंटिफाइज. Third is decision about mode of development. Once the problem is identified, the immediate step would be to decide about the vehicle for development. He can develop shell for the development by programming language. In this stage, various shells and tools are identified and analyzed for their suitability. These tools whose features fit the characteristics of the problems are analyzed in detail. So, जो भी आपने पहले प्रॉब्लम आइडेंटिफाई करी और एक प्रोटोटाइप बिल्डअप किया, तो उसके लिए आपको कुछ टूल्स की कुछ शेल्स की ज़रूरत होती है जिससे कि आप आइडेंटिफाई और एनालाइज कर पाओ डिसीजन मेकिंग में. सो इन दिस स्टेज what you have to do is various shells and tools are identified and analyzed for their suitability, and these tools whose features fit the characteristics of the problems are analyzed in detail. Next is fourth is prototype validation. The prototype undergoes the process of testing for various problems and revisions of the prototype takes place. It is very important step of DSS. So जब आपने problems को identify करा, उनको knowledge base में database में रखा, एक model एक prototype तैयार करा, उसके बाद उसके ऊपर कुछ आपने tools को identify करा, तो उसके बाद वो चीज़ें validation के लिए भी जाएंगी. तो वैलिडेशन क्या टेस्टिंग के लिए जाएंगी और वेरियस प्रॉब्लम्स की. तो वो प्रोटोटाइप आपका रिवीजन के तौर पर एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेप है आपके डीएसएस का कि ये जो प्रोसेस है बहुत ज़रूरी है. क्योंकि आफ्टर टेस्टिंग दी वेरियस प्रॉब्लम्स एंड रिवीजन सो द प्रोटोटाइप विल बी टेक्स प्लेस. लगेगा कि हमारा प्रोटोटाइप हमारा सही बना है या नहीं. Fifth step is planning for full-scale system. In prototype construction, the area in the problem that can be implemented with negative case is first choice intensive planning is done. So उसके बाद आपको future full-scale systems के लिए planning की भी ज़रूरत होगी so that prototype construction can be done, and you have to choose some proper intensive planning. Next is final implementation, maintenance and evaluation. This is the final stage of DSS life cycle. The full-scale system developed is implemented at the basic resources requirement are fulfilled and parallel conversions. So, ये लास्ट स्टेज है. यहाँ पे प्रॉपर पूरे तरीके से आपका एक DSS कंस्ट्रक्ट हो जाएगा और वो इम्प्लीमेंट हो जाएगा कुछ रिसोर्स रिक्वायरमेंट के लिए और वो फुलफिल्ड करेगा उन कन्वर्जन्स को. So yes, where we are now, we are discussing about a group decision support system. It is a type of a decision support system. A GDSS is a DSS that facilitates decision making by a team of decision maker working as a group. A DSS is an interactive computer-based system that facilitates solution of unstructured problem by a set of decision makers working together as a group. So here we can say that in this GDSS, this is basically work with the group of decision makers, and it facilitates the solution of unstructured problem, or we can say making by a team of decision makers working as a group facilitates the decision making. What are the characteristics of GDSS? The goal of GDSS is to improve the productivity of decision-making meetings, either by speeding up the decision-making process or by improving the quality of resulting decisions, or both. This is accomplished by providing support for the exchange of ideas, opinions, and preferences within the group. So the goal of GDSS is that they enhance the productivity of decision making. They speed up the decision making process. They improve the quality of result decisions and also supports the exchange of the ideas, the opinions, the preferences within the group. Basically, it works in a group of decision makers. So, supporting parallel processing of information and idea generation by participants, enabling larger groups with more complete information, knowledge, and skills to participate in the same meeting. They permitting the group to use structured or unstructured techniques and methods of arriving at decisions. They offering rapid and easy access to external information. They allowing non-sequential computer discussions. Unlike oral discussions, computer discussions do not have to be serial or sequential, producing instant anonymous voting results. So this basically works on structured or unstructured techniques. All the works in a group form. They are easy to access to external information. It provides you to easy access to external information, and non-sequential computer discussions are allowed by this GDSS. It provides structure to the planning process which keeps the group on track, enabling several users to interact simultaneously, automatically recording all information that passes through the system for future analysis. It develops organization memory. So basically, in through this GDSS, the user interacts to each other. They provide the structure to the planning process. So the things you are planning, the you are making any planning processes, so it provides you the structure according to this, and also it records all information that passes through the system for future analysis. So basically it has the organization memory also. It provides structure to the planning processes. A GDSS is specially designed information system. We can say that it is designed information system. It is easy to learn and to use. It is designed with the goal of supporting a group of decision makers in their work. It is designed to encourage activities such as idea generation, conflict resolutions, and freedom of expression. So basically, when a group of decision makers work together to achieve a goal or for decision making, so GDSS supports a lot. It is designed with the goal of supporting group of decision makers in their work. So it helps in their works to manage the things, to enhance the productivity, to enhance their work. So that's why GDSS is used, and it is very easy to learn and to use. अब टाइप्स ऑफ GDSS की बात करते हैं. सबसे पहला है डिसीजन नेटवर्क. This type helps the participants to communicate each other through network or through a central database. Application software may use commonly shared models to provide support. The common implementation using local area network and microcomputers. The technology filter out many group dynamics of participative meeting. So basically जो भी पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं DSS को यूज करने के लिए, उनके बीच में कम्युनिकेशन क्रिएट करना, वो भी किसकी हेल्प से, कोई सेंट्रल डेटाबेस की हेल्प से या फिर किसी नेटवर्क की हेल्प से. तो वो उन पार्टिसिपेंट्स की हेल्प करता है टू कम्युनिकेट बिटवीन देम. ये DGS. सो डिसीजन नेटवर्क एक ऐसा नेटवर्क है. और साथ ही साथ कुछ ऐसे कॉमन इम्प्लीमेंटेशन होते हैं जो कि लोकल एरिया नेटवर्क पे या माइक्रो कंप्यूटर्स पे होते हैं. ये शेयर करता है मॉडल्स टू प्रोवाइड सपोर्ट फॉर इंफॉर्मेशन, एंड ऑल्सो देयर आर सम ऑफ द टेक्नोलॉजी फिल्टर्स आउट to filter out some technologies by many group of members. Second is decision room. Participants are located at one place, that is the decision room. The purpose of this is to enhance participants' interaction and decision making by computerized within a fixed period of time using a facilitators. So डिसीजन जो है आपका डिसीजन नेटवर्क, एक नेटवर्क की ज़रूरत है. वो नेटवर्क हेल्प करता है कम्युनिकेशन के लिए जो भी हमारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं. और यहाँ सेकंड है डिसीजन रूम. तो डिसीजन रूम एक ऐसी लोकेशन है जहाँ पे एक ही जगह सारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स बैठते हैं, और इसका यही है कि वो उन पार्टिसिपेंट्स के इंटरेक्शन को एनहांस करे, उनके डिसीजंस को कंप्यूटराइज करे कुछ फैसिलिटेटर्स के साथ. थर्ड इज टेलीकॉन्फ्रेंसिंग. Groups are composed of numbers of groups that are geographically disordered. So teleconferencing provides interactive connection within two or more decision rooms. So as you all know, telepathy, एक दूसरे से दूसरे कमरे तक टेलीपैथी हो जाती है. टेलीकॉन्फ्रेंसिंग भी वही है. अगर हमारे पास कुछ ऐसे डिसीजन रूम्स हैं, डिफरेंट डिसीजन रूम्स हैं, टू और मोर डिसीजन रूम्स हैं, तो टेलीकॉन्फ्रेंसिंग क्या करता है, उनके बीच में एक इंटरेक्टिव कनेक्शंस को मेंटेन करता है या प्रोवाइड कराता है. and this interaction will involve transmission of computerized audio visual information. तो जो भी हमारी इंफॉर्मेशन है किसी ऑडियो फॉर्म में या विजुअल फॉर्म में है तो वो कंप्यूटराइज्ड फॉर्म में होके ही हमारे ट्रांसमिशन को इन्वॉल्व करता है। तो सो जो भी है हमारे टेली कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग क्या करता है, इट प्रोवाइड्स यू दैट interactive connections which is in the form of computerized audio visual information. Now advantages of GDSS: to take better decisions, to resolve the problems, to minimize the risk, to collect the amount of information, to improve interactive communications, to improve the decision making process, to make coordination in various activities. सो सबसे पहले हम बात करते हैं बेटर डिसीजंस की। थ्रू GDSS वी कैन टेक बेटर डिसीजंस बिकॉज GDSS आर टेकन बाय द ग्रुप। तो जब भी जो भी हमारे डिसीजंस एक GDSS में होते हैं वो किसी ग्रुप के थ्रू ही होते हैं, क्योंकि GDSS इज कंप्राइज ऑफ ग्रुप ऑफ डिसीजन मेकर्स। तो जब हमारा ग्रुप होता है बहुत सारे लोग अपना अपना पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू रखते हैं, अपने डिसीजंस को लेके बैठते हैं, तो उससे एक बेटर डिसीजंस का बेटर डिसीजन निकल के आता है। तो यहाँ पे बेटर डिसीजन एक इसके लिए एडवांटेज ही है कि हम GDSS से एक बेटर डिसीजन ले पाते हैं। सेकंड, टू सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम, GDSS प्रोवाइड सॉल्यूशन टू अनस्ट्रक्चर्ड प्रॉब्लम्स, दैट इज GDSS collects various types of information at various sources. क्यों? क्योंकि GDSS का क्या है, एक्सटर्नल सोर्सेज से, इंटरनल सोर्सेज से, डिफरेंट सोर्सेज से GDSS इंफॉर्मेशन को कलेक्ट करता है, तभी वो ऐसे सॉल्यूशंस को प्रोवाइड करता है जो कि अनस्ट्रक्चर्ड प्रॉब्लम्स। इट प्रोवाइड सॉल्यूशन टू अनस्ट्रक्चर्ड प्रॉब्लम्स। क्यों? क्योंकि जितनी भी हमारी अनस्ट्रक्चर्ड प्रॉब्लम्स है, कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स ऐसी हैं जो प्रॉपरली फॉर्म में ऑर्गेनाइज में नहीं है, तो जब अलग अलग सोर्सेज आप इंफॉर्मेशन कलेक्ट करोगे तो उनके सॉल्यूशंस भी आपको उस हिसाब से ही हो जाएंगे। To minimize the risk, GDSS allows managers to assess the risk associated with various alternatives. This helps managers to be proactive there rather than reactive. पहले से ही रिस्क का पता होना और उसके हिसाब से कुछ ऑल्टरनेट्स को रखना, वो GDSS काम करता है। तो ये मैनेजर को हेल्प करता है कि मैनेजर जो है वो प्रोएक्टिव बने। ये नहीं है कि सिचुएशन आई तब सोचना है कि क्या करना है, नहीं, उनको पहले से ही रिस्क को आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया, रिस्क एनालिसिस कर ली और तब उसके ऑल्टरनेटिव्स भी अपने पास रख लिए। दिस हेल्प्स देम टू मेक टू assess the risk associated with various alternatives, and this make them a proactive rather than reactive. To collect the amount of information, GDSS collect information at various sources for decision making. This information minimizes the risk. जब आप डिफरेंट क्वेश्चन से, डिफरेंट सोर्सेज से इंफॉर्मेशन को कलेक्ट करते हो और उसके बाद उस इंफॉर्मेशन पे वर्क करते हो तो रिस्क की संभावना जो है वो कम हो जाती है, क्योंकि हमारे पास इंफॉर्मेशन का अमाउंट जो है वो बल्क में है। दैट्स व्हाई इट मिनिमाइजेस द रिस्क। फिफ्थ, टू प्रोवाइड इंटरैक्टिव कम्युनिकेशन, एज आई टोल्ड यू अर्लियर, it consists of group of decision makers, and that's why it provides an interactive information. It takes better decisions through the interactive communication. As we all know, decision network is required, decision room is required, that helps them to make a interactive communication between the group of decision makers. To improve the decision making process, improve the decision making process because it is goal oriented. When the GDSS is designed, the goal is considered. तो जब भी कोई DSS, GDSS, MIS कुछ भी बनाया जाता है तो आप सबसे पहले अपने गोल को सेट कर लेते हो। तो ये इसलिए हमारे डिसीजन मेकिंग को इम्प्रूव कर देता है, क्योंकि हमें पता है पहले से ही हमारा गोल प्री डिसाइडेड है और हमारा जो ये DSS इम्प्लीमेंट हुआ है या बनाया गया है वो गोल ओरिएंटेड ही बनाया गया, और जब गोल ओरिएंटेड बनाया गया तो वो हमारे डिसीजन मेकिंग प्रोसेस में भी हेल्प करता है। सेवेंथ इज टू मेक कोऑर्डिनेशन इन वेरियस एक्टिविटीज। GDSS decisions are taken by a group of DSS. The work is divided into different parts, then each DSS performs own work. So जितने भी हमारे ग्रुप ऑफ डिसीजन मेकर्स हैं यहाँ पर, वो हमारे क्या कहते हैं, डिसीजन मेकिंग के लिए हेल्प करते हैं और इसीलिए वो हमारे कोऑर्डिनेशंस भी हो जाते हैं हर एक वेरियस एक्टिविटीज। Now some of the disadvantage of GDSs. More chances for clash of opinions are there, and very large group bring work complex. So application and usage of group decision support system for meeting, for marketing, बैंकिंग सेंटर. सो सबसे पहले हम डिसएडवांटेज में सबसे पहला पॉइंट देखते हैं, जितने ज़्यादा ग्रुप ऑफ डिसीजन मेकर्स होंगे उतना ओपिनियंस का क्लैश होगा. तो यहाँ चांसेस ज़्यादा होते हैं ओपिनियंस को क्लैश करने के, जो हमारे ओपिनियंस क्लैश हो सकते हैं डिफरेंट डिफरेंट ग्रुप ऑफ डिसीजन मेकर से. और साथ ही साथ ग्रुप में जो काम करने का तरीका है वो कॉम्प्लेक्स हो जाता है कभी कभी. सो ये हमारे लिए वेरी लार्ज ग्रुप ब्रिंग वर्क कॉम्प्लेक्स. जितना ज़्यादा बड़ा ग्रुप होगा वो हमारे काम को और कॉम्प्लेक्स बना देगा. अच्छा, एप्लीकेशंस एंड यूजेस ऑफ ग्रुप डिसीजन सपोर्ट सिस्टम फॉर मीटिंग, फॉर मार्केटिंग, बैंकिंग सेंटर, जो भी हमारे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज, ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग, मेंटेनिंग रिकॉर्ड्स, एक्सेसिंग द जजमेंट टास्क, office automation, documentation, engineering firms, all these are the applications and uses of the group decision support system. Now, moving towards the components of GDSs, hardware. It includes single PC and keypads, a decision room distributed GDSs, audio visual aids, network equipment etc. तो हमारे कंपोनेंट सबसे पहला क्या हुआ, हार्डवेयर. हार्डवेयर की बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरत होती है. क्यों? क्योंकि कम्युनिकेशन के लिए हमें कुछ ऐसे यूनिट्स की ज़रूरत है जो हमारे ऑडियो विजुअल इंफॉर्मेशन को शो कर सकें, डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर सकें. सॉफ्टवेयर. सॉफ्टवेयर इंक्लूड्स मॉड्यूल्स टू सपोर्ट द इंडिविजुअल, the group, the process, and scientific task. The software allows each individual to do private work, the usual collections of text and file creation, graphics, spreadsheets and DBMS. So एक सॉफ्टवेयर की भी ज़रूरत होती है. क्यों? क्योंकि वो एक डेटाबेस मैनेजमेंट को, सिस्टम को फॉलो करता है. कुछ स्प्रेडशीट, कुछ ऐसे सॉफ्टवेयर जो हमारी इंफॉर्मेशन को स्टोर कराने में, उसको प्रोसेस कराने के काम में आए. Next, procedures. It enables ease of operation and effective use of technology by group members. People, users and stakeholders. जो भी हमारे users होंगे GDSs को यूज करने की, वो हमारे stakeholders होंगे, वो people की भी जरूरत है. Now, group decision support system can improve group decision making. How? They helps to enhance group decision making by the following ways: improved pre-planning forces an agenda to keep the meeting on task, increase participations, they have more numbers of persons, results to more effective contribution toward decisions. To open collaborative meetings atmosphere, they help to provide open and collaborative meeting atmosphere which provide non-judgmental input all attendees. To criticism free idea generations, group decision support system provide criticisms, free idea generation with more inputs and better ideas. Documentation of meeting. It helps for effective documentation of meetings which are used for further decisions and use. So हर एक चीज़ का documentation रखना, criticism free idea generation करना, participation increase होना, atmosphere का open collaborative meeting atmosphere create करना, improved pre-planning. All these things are the ways through which our decision making is enhanced. Setting priorities and making decisions. It helps to set the priorities and give importance to those problems which are more critical. और जब तक प्रायोरिटीज सेट नहीं करोगे, प्रॉब्लम्स की इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं देखोगे कि वो कितनी क्रिटिकल है, तब तक डिसीजन मेकिंग में हेल्प नहीं मिलेगी. नेक्स्ट इज डिसीजन सपोर्ट सिस्टम. डिसीजन मेकिंग ये हम पढ़ चुके हैं. डिसीजन मेकिंग में हमारा, it is essential part of modern management. A manager's life is filled with a constant series of decisions: where to invest profits, what to do about an employee who is late, where should the firm new warehouse to build, what subject will have to prioritize department meeting the next morning and so on. So decision making के लिए managers की life में बहुत सारे questions arise होते हैं. क्या करना है, कैसे करना है, कहाँ इन्वेस्ट करें, कहाँ लगाएं, कितना लेट हो गया, ये सारी चीज़ों को important है. So decisions which are relatively minor are taken almost subconsciously. The rules and the patterns of behavior established over many previous encounters with the problem. So it is a key part of manager activities. It permits through all managerial functions such as planning, organizing, डायरेक्टिंग एंड कंट्रोलिंग. सो जो भी हमारे डिसीजंस लिए जा रहे हैं वो हमारे मैनेजरियल फंक्शंस को देखते हुए, मैनेजर्स की एक्टिविटीज़ को देखते हुए, कुछ रूल्स पैटर्न्स ऑफ बिहेवियर्स को देखते हुए ही लिए जा रहे हैं. और अगर कोई माइनर हमारे ऐसे प्रॉब्लम्स हैं उस पर हमें डिसीजंस लेना है तो वो हम जल्दी से जल्दी ले लेते हैं. In planning, it is through the process of decision making that objectives and policies are down, and the managers decide many things such as what to do, what to sell, where, when, now, and so on. So planning में क्या है? Everybody knows that planning arises some of the questions: what to do, when to do, where to do, how to do, when to do. So these are the question arise to set the objectives and policies by the managers while doing some planning. In organizing stage, decision making relates to the choice of structure, nature, and form of organization, division of work, delegation of authority, fixing of responsibilities, and the like. So organizing में decision making क्या करता है, वो उससे रिलेट हो रहा है कि हम कौन से स्ट्रक्चर को यूज कर रहे हैं, किस नेचर का है, कैसा हमारा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का सिस्टम है, कितना कितना वर्क किस किस को कैसे देना है, क्या अथॉरिटीज रहेंगे, रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज कैसे फिक्स होंगी, ये सारी चीजें ऑर्गेनाइजिंग डिपार्टमेंट में फॉलो होती हैं. In directing, decision making relates to determining the course, deciding the orders and instructions to be given, providing dynamic leadership and similar other issues. So in directing हमें क्या देखना है, हमें इस तरीके से काम को डिफाइन करना है, इस तरीके से ऑर्डर्स इंस्ट्रक्शंस को डिफाइन करना है, डिटरमाइन करना है किस कोर्स ऑफ एक्शंस को फॉलो अप करना है, लीडरशिप्स को देखना है, इन इश्यूज को सॉल्व करना है. And in controlling, the decision relate to the laying down of performance standards, strategic control points, procedures for control and so on. कि हमारे जो भी इंस्ट्रक्शंस, हमारे जो भी ऑर्डर्स चल रहे हैं वो सही वे में चल रहे हैं, क्या स्ट्रेटजीज लगाई हैं, क्या प्रोसीजर्स लगाए हैं, इन सबको इन कंट्रोलिंग फॉर्म में करता है. Decision is a choice between two or more alternatives and this implies three things. So decision making. Decision is a choice between two or more alternatives. This implies three things. When managers make decisions, they are choosing, they are deciding what to do on the basis of some conscious and deliberate logic or judgment. So basically, it implies two or more alternatives. कोई भी एक ऐसी choice जो आपने तीन से चार या दो से चार ऑल्टरनेटिव से लेकर कोई भी एक चॉइस बनाई हो, वो एक तरीके से हमारा डिसीजन. Managers have alternatives available when they are making decisions. It does not require a wise manager to reach a decision when there are no other possible choices. It does require wisdom and experience to evaluate several alternatives and select the best one. So, what we have to do, the manager should have the one or more alternatives with themselves. अपने पास उनको एक या दो से ज़्यादा ऑल्टरनेटिव्स रखने पड़ेंगे, ऐसी कुछ पॉसिबल चॉइसेस रखनी पड़ेगी जिनको देखते हुए वो एक डिसीजन ले पाएँ. और दैट्स वाई उनका जो डिसीजन है वो बहुत ही एक्सपीरियंस टू इवेलुएट सेवरल ऑल्टरनेटिव्स एंड सेलेक्ट द बेस्ट वन. Managers have purpose in mind when they make a decision. There would be no reason for carefully making a choice among alternatives unless the decision brings them closer to the goal. So it is mandatory that they should have a purpose in their mind while making a decision. There are the two types of decision: program decisions, with the decisions which have been made so many times in the past that managers have developed rules for guideline to be applied when certain situations are expected to occur. That means ये पहले से ही predefined होते हैं, कुछ rules कुछ regulations पहले से ही बनी हुई होती हैं. कोई भी हमारी situation certain situation आती है और हमें पता होता है कि यही होने वाला है, तब इन program decisions को आप लेते हो many times. Program decision making are a routine that make every time so the organization runs smooth. Managers can develop rules and guidelines to regulate all routine organizational activities and most decisions are related to daily activity. So basically ये एक ऐसे decisions है time to time लिए जाते हैं और ज़्यादातर लिए ही जाते हैं, routine में ही रहते हैं हमारे. Second is non-program decisions. They are made in response to unusual opportunities and threats. This type of decision making does not need any rules or guidelines to be followed because the situation is unexpected or uncertain. So for example, if there is a situation arise, there are a crisis over here या drop down in the market, so वहाँ कैसे decision लिए जाएं, वो एक sudden decisions होते हैं जब हमें पता होता है कि ये जो situation है ये unexpected है, ये uncertain है, तो उन decisions को हम non programmed decisions कहते हैं. ये decisions पहले से ही predefined नहीं होते हैं. In program decision making, there will be no error in the decisions because it is in routine and managers usually have the information they need to create rules and guidelines to be followed by the other. But in non-program decision making are likely to have an error because it causes more problems for managers and is inherently challenging. So जो भी आपके पास पहले से ही प्री डिफाइंड कुछ रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस होंगे, गाइडलाइंस होंगे और उस पे आप कोई डिसीजंस ले रहे हो, तो उन डिसीजंस में एरर के चांसेस कम होते हैं. पर अनसर्टेन सिचुएशंस में, कुछ ऐसी सिचुएशंस में जो पहले से ही अनएक्सपेक्टेड हैं, वहाँ पे एरर होने के चांसेस होते हैं बिकॉज वो एक अनएक्सपेक्टेड सिचुएशंस में ही आपके डिसीजंस ले जाते हैं और वहाँ पे रिस्क होने के भी चांसेस ज़्यादा होते हैं. So major and minor decisions are degree of futurity of decisions, impact of the decision on other functional areas, qualitative factors that enter the decisions, recurrences of decisions. So ये हमारे कुछ decisions होते हैं जहाँ हम future की capabilities को देखते हुए ही एक decision लेते हैं, या फिर कुछ ऐसे functional areas को देखते हुए भी decision लेते हैं जो हमारा decision है वो क्या impact देगा उन functional areas पे. कुछ ऐसे qualitative factors को भी हम involve करते हैं और recurrences of decisions भी ज़रूरी है. So at last we can say that decision support system helps the organization basically for making a for enhancing the decision making capabilities, and also they help the managers and the level of the managers so that they can work in a productivity, their productivity can be increased, their work can be increased, their authenticity can be increased. So according to me, this is the only this is the overall PPT of decision support system. I think you may get help from this topic. Thank you all of you. Take care.